class?
Austin Chaos!
Episode 2, The Number 13. Hello, I'm Austin Chaos. Are you frightened of the number 13? Perhaps you think it's unlucky, or maybe you're superstitious. In today's episode of Tidbits, we look at 13 facts about the number 13. Number 1. The number 13. In many cultures, carries with it an air of deep superstition. Long considered evil or unlucky, many societies have gone out of their way to avoid dealing directly with the number 13. For instance, many hotels and office buildings don't have a 13th floor. In some cases, they skipped right from 12 to 14 when numbering. In other cases, they build a tiny false 13th floor and then build the 14th floor directly above it. Room numbers will also often skip 13, either directly or by having a door 12A and a door 12B. Number 2. While many people are discomforted by the number 13, there are some people with such a strong aversion to the number that they develop real phobias. Triskaidekaphobia is the real and recognized fear of the number 13. There are multiple forms of this phobia, such as fear of Friday the 13th, and people suffering from these phobias are legitimately terrified of the number 13. Some notable people to suffer from triskaidekaphobia include Winston Churchill, Napoleon Bonaparte, and Christopher Columbus. Number 3. The United States of America is steeped in number 13 symbolism. Originally, there were 13 colonies of the United States of America, and even our nation's Great Seal is littered with the number. It features no less than 13 stars, 13 arrows, 13 berries, 13 stripes, and 13 leaves. You'd think someone was just a bit obsessed with our controversial number 13. Number 4. It may have happened that there was a mass arrest and execution of Knights Templar soldiers on Friday the 13th in the year 1307. What is known for sure is that the Templars were indeed disbanded and subsequently arrested on Friday the 13th. Some believe it was at the order of Pope Clement V. Other historians argue that it was King Philip IV who made the call. This story, whether true or not, may be one of the foundations for our 13 superstition. Number 5. Houston, we've got a problem. The NASA program was a big deal, and missions to the moon were a very important part of our growth as a nation. Not all missions could go perfect, however. Apollo 13 was the 7th manned mission in the Apollo space program, and 3rd with the intention of making landing on the lunar surface. 2 days after launch and entry, however, an oxygen tank exploded, causing damage to the craft. Despite days of rough conditions and the very real fear that they wouldn't return home alive, the Apollo 13 crew returned safely on April 17, 1970. Number 6. Tarot cards and tarot readings are already steeped in superstition and mysticism. Couple that with the number 13, well, the results are downright chilling. The 13th trump, or major arcana card, in most conventional tarot decks, is none other than death. It seems the number 13 brings ill tidings almost everywhere it shows up. Number 7. On the Gregorian calendar, the 13th day of a month is mathematically more likely to be a Friday than any other day of the week. 2015, for instance, had 3 separate months with a Friday the 13th, being February, March, and November, respectively. The next time this will happen is in the year 2026. Our next Friday the 13th will be in January 2017. Number 8. The number 13 can't be all bad, right? Somewhere there's a bright spot with a number 13 on it. Enter the baker's dozen. Sometimes called a long dozen, the baker's dozen is the sweet 13 in a world of dark spots. Not only do you get your normal dozen donuts in all of their pastry goodness, but you get that magnificent extra, that 13th heavenly glazed gem. When it comes to donuts, you want to see the number 13. Number 9. The painting The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci is famous for many reasons. It has been reproduced many times through many mediums, and even served as a plot piece for novelist Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code. It has a connection to our list as well, however. The number of people, including Jesus, seated at the table is exactly 13. Is that intentional symbolism, or do our minds project our fears onto innocent numbers? Number 10. America makes the list again, with even more occurrences of the number 13. Our nation's glorious flag waves proudly over our people, adorned by no less than 13 stripes upon it. But it doesn't stop there. Our national currency is peppered with the number 13 as well. On our $1 bill, there are 13 levels of the pyramid, 13 stars, 13 stripes, 13 leaves, and 13 olives. The obsession is real. Number 11. There's a superstition surrounding the number 13 called devil's luck. It's said that if you have exactly 13 numbers in your name, you're bound to have the devil's luck. Now that may seem like poppycock, but some people that have had devil's luck include Charles Manson, Jack the Ripper, Jeffrey Dahmer, and Theodore Bundy, to name a few. So, how many letters are in your name? Number 12. 13 has appeared often in pop culture and media, perhaps none so famously as the Friday the 13th movie franchise. In fact, 5 of the 12 Friday the 13th movies have been released on a Friday the 13th, including the remake released in 2009. The 13th film in the franchise is currently being produced by Paramount Pictures with an intended release of 2017. Number 13. Even our leaders aren't safe from the number 13. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, or FDR, was said to have suffered from a mild case of triskaidekaphobia. In the words of Roosevelt biographer and journalist John Gunther, FDR was moderately superstitious. He hated Friday the 13th. He would never start an important trip on Friday if he could help it, and he disliked sitting down with 13 to dinner. Strangely, and perhaps due to his strong dislike for Friday the 13th, FDR passed away on Thursday the 12th of April 1945. Hey there. If you learned something new today, like this video, share with your friends so they can learn too, and subscribe for even more. Want to learn some new tidbits about a specific topic? Send your suggestions in the comments below. I'm Austin Chaos, and this has been Tidbits. Thanks for watching.